but I'm going to say good afternoon because
Yeah.
I have to.
I will always say good morning because it doesn't feel right to say good afternoon when it is very clearly morning to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a valid point, and we are on your channel. Therefore, I won't press back too hard.
Okay. I'm not too blurry today, so that is wonderful.
Yeah. Am I blurry? I don't know because mine.
No, you look perfectly crystal clear. Look at us showing up and doing things right.
That's right. That's right. That's the way it goes. Also, I can look this way and I'm looking at you. What's up?
Oh yeah, there you go. And I can go this way and look at you.
Oh, hey. Oh, the things we amuse ourselves with.
So fun. So
a good time.
very, very fun.
I like it.
Okay. Well, Amy is here. She got here early today.
Yay, Amy.
That's amazing.
It sure is.
And Blaze, of course, is here.
Blaze, are you for realsies? It's grapefruit element season.
I saw that email come through.
I need to check my email. I've been doing all the work around the house, much more so than doing, like computer work things. So I have not yet seen. I've not yet seen the things. So, yeah, I'll have to hunt that down later instead of distracting myself with that right now.
Yes, seriously. No, this is so important. We need to stop what we are doing right now. No, just kidding.
Furiously typing on the computer.
Simple. Oh yeah, Miriam said we need to give each other a high five. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
1.
Do we do it?
Okay. How about this time we try it again? But this time only one of us counts, and on the last number that you say, we actually that. Okay.
Oh, did you notice that I counted backwards and you counted forwards?
Whatever. It's fine. Okay. I'm going to nominate you to count, and on the last number you say, we will. Okay?
All right. 3, 2, 1, 1. Yeah. Was it supposed to be on 1 or 0? I don't know. Okay. I think we succeeded enough for today.
Oh, bless.
We're really off to a great start today.
This is fantastic. Okay. I can see oh man. Okay.
Risa is here. J Bob is here. Nas is here.
I just saw us do that on the video part.
Yeah, so there's enough of a delay. I was able to look down and see it. It worked.
It did. Did you say okay? Risa, hello. I hope that you're being safe in the car. I'm sure you are.
Mm.
And then Haley Charles, your name is new to us. Hello, welcome.
Yes.
I haven't seen that name in the past. Have you?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we're excited that you're here today. And Miriam is here.
Miriam is here.
We love a good Miriam moment.
I saw Miriam this morning live on Instagram. Looking for the younger.
I saw Miriam this morning because I'm in Utah now.
Oh, don't you wish?
Yes. There's a spot in Draper where people go parasailing or kite sailing off of this one particular cliff, and they just like dive, like base jumping almost, but with a kite thing. That we would watch people do that all the time when we would be driving from Lehigh up to like further north within the Salt Lake metro. And it looked like so much fun to me. I would love to go back to Utah to even just be able to do that. Utah's beautiful.
It's been a long time since I've been in Utah. I think, my grandparents lived in Utah when I was real young. And so I have childhood memories of going to visit them, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know that I have been back since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
We've driven across the country a few times, but I don't know. I don't remember specifically if we stopped. Oh, no, we did. We stopped in Utah when I was pregnant with Autumn. So still a long time ago.
That's been a minute.
Yeah.
You've lived a lot of life since then.
Yeah, it was funny. We were driving through to Georgia to see my grandparents, and we got to house sit. We knew some people in Utah, and it was actually their parents were going to be out of town, so we were able to stay at their house. And they had what is it, Burmese mountain dogs? Is that
Oh,
they're like the giant bear
Slurpee.
dog,
Yes.
and they had like 8 or 10 of them.
That's a lot of food.
Oh
That's a
my
lot of mess
gosh,
to
it was
clean
the
up.
most incredible experience. So they had like a dog sitter that would come over and feed them and stuff. But like these dogs, and like she'd let them in the house, and they're like eating off of the counter, like without like jumping up or anything. Like they are enormous. And then like on the walls of the house were like portraits of, the woman of the house with her dogs, and it was quite precious.
I mean, I can only fathom the volume of hair and grooming that must go into managing that number of dogs at that size. That's a
Yes.
that's a
But
whole lot.
apparently this is what their whole life revolved around.
I mean, that shakes out.
I mean, it would have to, otherwise you just wouldn't do it.
I mean, the portraits kind of give that away a bit.
Yes. Well, and then it's like you can kind of handle 1 or 2 dogs
Oh
smell,
yeah, yeah,
but that many of that size, it's like the whole house just smell like dog. It's like
for sure.
what are you gonna do, right?
Well, we tell our girls that they smell like squirrels when they come in from playing outside, or we say that we smell like squirrels when we come in from playing outside or
Mhm.
doing our walks and things like that. And someone once posed the question, how do you know what a squirrel tastes or smells like? Not tastes like.
Yeah, probably delicious.
I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know, but that's just what my mom in love says. Therefore, I
yeah,
say it too.
and you can imagine. You can
I can
imagine.
imagine for sure. For sure. If they live out there and then we come inside after being out there and that's what we smell like, I feel like we smell squirrely. It's just the way it feels.
Yeah,
And if it feels right, it must be right, right?
that's the world we live in.
Okay.
Let's
We
see.
missed
Chris
many people.
Bear is here,
Hello, Chris.
and
And
he said
Jack is
something about
here.
random white powder.
That's confusing and
So
I'm
I'm a little concerned.
very concerned.
Um,
I
yeah,
saw Eclectic Cabin is here as well. I've not seen your
yeah.
handle before.
I believe I have in
Okay.
comments. So, but
Excellent.
not maybe not in the live chat. So, welcome to
Mhm.
the live.
Welcome to the live.
Welcome to the live. Oh, Cindy's here, of course. Sheila and Jack and Debbie and Linda and Judy. We got we got everybody. Debbie, another Debbie. So yes, Debbie Armstrong and Debbie Clark.
Okay, I've got to readjust my chat because clearly I'm not seeing everybody that you are seeing. I had it
Uh,
on top chat apparently, not all chat.
well, I have it on top chat too. Why do they always do that?
I don't know. But okay,
Mhm.
can we digress for like 28 seconds? In the past, I have gone through and selected the options appropriate to allow my the chat to be available after the replay has fully uploaded onto the YouTubes. And yet,
Mhm.
it still does not do that for our live chats. And I don't understand what I am doing wrong. And maybe I just need to go find a YouTube video to like make sure that I'm walking through the steps appropriately. But my word,
Right.
annoying.
Yeah, I honestly have not gone back and checked my videos, so I probably should
Mm.
just to make sure
Well,
it's still showing up.
when I remember to go back and like scrub through to find a snapshot of us to swap out so YouTube knows that it's not just like the same video being re-uploaded all the time. I will see that the little live chat box is not there next to the comments box. And I'm like,
Right.
on earth? What on earth? What do I have to do, YouTube?
Darn it. I
Give
know,
me
because the
give
live
me
chat is
knowledge.
very important to at least our lives. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes people just ignore it and talk about whatever it is they have planned.
right.
Who does that?
Not us.
But the live chat seems to be pretty vital to
It
our chat.
does. Okay.
Uh, all right, let's see. Oh, Alan's
Please.
here. Stacy Stewart, Carol, another Carol. Was there another? There were 2 Carols? No, maybe just one Carol. Let's see. And
Oh.
Chris Bear's job is randomly mixing white powders together. It's like a whole Breaking Bad type situation.
Oh my goodness.
Little
So
bit, and it's
speaking of that
secret.
TV show,
Secretly mixing white powders together. That's really sketchy.
really sketchy, especially since you live out in the desert. Also, have you ever watched the series Breaking Bad?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
So Jared, he would travel all the time and he would be bored often. So he would just try to find any kind of show series to keep him entertained in the evenings whenever he would be, away from home. He started watching Breaking Bad and he's like, you got to watch this. It's fascinating and it's drama and it's like danger and action all in one. And I was like, yes, I'm down. Let's do this. So we get through the first season and I'm like, okay, it's intense, but I can handle it. I can handle it. And then we get through the second season, and it didn't take but like 2 episodes into season 3 where I was like, I'm out. I can't anymore. I was getting
Yeah.
so emotionally worked up about Jesse,
Mm.
the character who just seems like he's always just like falling down and failing and always getting stepped all over and put in these horrible situations. And it was just like nobody is standing up for him. And I cannot, whenever someone is weaker and unable to stand up for themselves, like I can't not stand
Mhm.
up for them to a certain degree. And I'm like, I gotta stop watching this show. And Jared's like, well, it's
Mm.
really not that serious. And I was like, sure, it's a TV show, but for some reason I cannot handle it. Therefore, I tap out. I'm
Yeah.
done. I cannot.
Yeah.
Know your limitations, people.
Yeah. Well, I kind of started feeling that way with The Walking Dead. Did you ever watch that?
No, I never got into that one. I'm not a super fan of like, like monsters and things.
Yeah. So with The Walking Dead, I've always said about it, it's less about zombies and more about people, which is kind of
Okay.
fascinating because it's all about like people's response to this, extreme situation and how they internally try to figure out how to live and
In light of it.
struggle with, the terrible things they have to do in order to keep their family, safe or whatever. But
Yeah.
with it, it's like I got to the point of saying it's emotional abuse. Like every single season is like they're killing these favorite people, or it's like, and they get to the point of there's actually hope, and then all the hope is so far dashed that they're in a worse position than they were at the beginning, and like
Yeah.
it just drug on for so long. It's like because at first, like the first few seasons, you're like you're really you're riding the wave of it, and then after a while you're like again.
I
Like
know.
I can't subject myself to like emotionally get involved again because I
Yeah.
know what you're going to do. It's like it's like
Yeah.
an abusive relationship where you're like you're just going to hit me again.
Right. It's like telling somebody, oh, the stove's not hot, then they accidentally bump into it, and all of a sudden they've got a 3rd-degree burn on their arm. Oh, now it's not hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Now you can get your hopes up again.
Right. Okay. Alan just mentioned Ozark off of Netflix.
I have not
Jared and
watched
I got
that.
sucked into that one too. I mean, like that one we
Okay.
followed through to the end, but we learned something from it. We
Okay.
learned that Lindsay is only capable of watching 1 or 2 episodes in a day, whereas
Okay.
with Breaking Bad we had no other hobbies. And so it was like and the girls were still so young.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like we had nothing else to do, so it was like back to 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 back, and I'm like, I'm out. My brain was not designed to handle things of this magnitude. I
Yeah.
can't. So,
Yeah.
we did like Ozark,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't think I would go back and watch it again just because of the emotional, just like turmoil that it causes within my sternum. I can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I remember the first series that I really like binged, like when binging series became a thing. It was
Yeah.
Lost, which I think
Oh,
that's like the time that all started becoming a thing. And I
yeah.
remember it was I had my crochet business at that time, so I was crocheting 12 hours a day, which meant I could watch as much media as I wanted to. So I was just watching,
A
back
little
to
hand
back to back. And Little Autumn was, I think, like two or three, maybe. I think she was 2. And I remember at one point I was sitting watching, and she comes over and looks at my screen, and she's like, "Oh no, the island!" Like busted up laughing. Like she had no concept of anything, but she knew like the responses. Oh no, the island.
That is fantastic. The
Yeah.
final episode of Lost aired when we were living in Portland and we had gone over to like a watch party. Jared and I had never seen the show ever. And to this
Oh, that's
day,
the worst episode to start with.
to this day, I've only ever seen part of that one episode because I was too busy talking to other people who were disinterested. So some of our friends, they had everybody over to watch the last episode of Lost, and I'm like, I don't understand this show. What is happening here? And they're like, have you never seen? No, I've never seen this. This is
And
not.
why are you at this watch party?
Because we were hanging out with our friends.
What?
We didn't have.
I remember when the final episode.
So.
Right. I know. Well, when the final episode of Lost aired, we were in between houses. That's when we moved from Gresham to Portland. And so we were staying at someone's house in Portland. And I remember, I don't know, I just remember that that's when the final episode was.
That's wild that you lived in Gresham, because we were living in Fairview, which is, like up against one.
We probably shop at the same grocery stores.
I went to your Target all the time. All the time. That was our Target. And I loved it in the spring when all of the tulips started to bloom and there were just like rows of tulips on that one road. You turned down it and then there were some really gorgeous looking apartments that were all craftsman style. Like the tulips just always mesmerized me. I was like, why are they so pretty?
Yeah.
They were so vibrant.
The girls just went to the Tulip Festival in Woodburn. Did you ever go do that?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we've been a few times, but they went, a friend took them. And so I have adorable pictures of them with the tulips. It's amazing. Like, it's just the most incredible. And if you go to like their website or Instagram, you can see like these drone shots of all the tulips and the rows of colors. I mean, it's about as close as you can get to Holland. Is that where that's where they have them?
That is where they do the tulips.
Yeah. I mean Holland is probably better saying that, but you can get pretty close if you go to Woodburn.
I've only ever been to the airport in Amsterdam. I've never actually explored the Netherlands beyond that, so I wouldn't know.
The airport in Amsterdam is pretty amazing, or at least it was when I was there 20 years ago.
It was wild and awesome and so cool when we were there. Very, very impressive airport. Blaze directly sent me a chat thing. No need to create butter mayo ranch dressing. Anita directed her to Chris Cooking Nashville, and he made the spreadable butter mayo. So Blaze, it is serendipitous that you bring up Chris Cooking Nashville, because today I filmed me trying his spreadable butter mayonnaise recipe. I just got to edit it and be able to put it out on my channel when I am done with all of that. So it's funny that today was the day that I chose to try out his recipe and you mention it.
Nice. I just found his channel as well. I don't know why it just popped up, probably from the butter mayo thing, and people have been talking about it. But he put out a recipe for cauliflower, not cauliflower, for rice made out of egg whites and gelatin. And he had some cool techniques of like sprinkling the gelatin on the like crumbled egg whites to make it have more of a texture of rice. And I was like, okay, that's cool. You know me with egg whites and gelatin, like those are my favorite ingredients. So I'm gonna definitely have to try that.
For sure. Yeah. I do think that he has come up with some very innovative techniques that could be very interesting for the whole carnivore community. Obviously, if you are keto, you can still actively use carnivore recipes. There's no like limitations, like, oh, if you're not carnivore, you can't have this.
Right. So, right. Yeah. Well, that's why I love making carnivore recipes, because they're versatile. I mean, and besides for vegans, like anyone can use them.
Right.
So they just are the most versatile. And so it's like if you make a carnivore, wrap, then the keto people can fill it with whatever, veggies and
That's right.
stuff, and the carnivore people can fill it with their pulled pork, and everyone's happy. So I always try to go that direction if I can.
Absolutely. His name was Chris. No, spell properly, Lindsay. There we are. I'm just trying to grab his link to
Okay.
share with everybody because the man only has like less than what is it? Less than 3,000 subscribers, but he's doing some fantastical work over there. So y'all go and check him out.
Yep.
And
I need to make sure. I think I subscribed to him, but I need to make sure.
And make sure you try out some of his stuff if you're interested in it, because so far I've been pretty impressed. Now he does do it, it seems like more of a like cooking show, talking you through it and giving you kind of the why behind it and how it works and that kind of a thing. So it's not these like super rapid fire like 3-minute videos. So be,
Right. Yeah. It takes some time.
be knowledgeable on that front. But he does also type out his recipes in his description box. Not printable, but it's easier whenever you're like, oh, I need to know what that thing is. It's a little bit easier just to scroll through his description box and be like, oh, there it is. Beautiful.
Yes. Let's see. Linda is asking about Stranger Things. Have you watched Stranger Things?
Nope.
Okay. We watched that. The kids like that. Autumn really liked it. And I liked it for the first season or two. It was fun. But then, like with a lot of shows, it's like they just have to keep it going, and you just get to the point where you're like, okay, you should have ended after the second season.
Right.
Yeah.
How many TV shows are like that?
So many. Yeah.
Like as soon as you lose the initial writers, I think that's when it's time to let the show finish.
Yeah. And it's just so obvious that it becomes about making money. It's like we just have to keep pushing it when we don't really have more original ideas, but people are going to watch it, so we have to come up with something. And you're like, oh,
right.
Yeah. Risa says her first binging experience was Orange is the New Black. Could only watch 2 episodes back to back. Yeah, I never watched that one.
I never got into that.
Everybody loved that one.
Yeah, I mean, and the reality is like Jared and I, we like fake reality TV, like Survivor. So like we know it's not real, but it's realer-ish. And I started watching Survivor with my family when it first came out, how many years ago. And we thought it was so cool. And when Big Brother first started, we thought, man, that is so wild. And it just it goes through its ebbs and flows. And while we have not been like super thrilled with the formula that Survivor does these days, it just seems so predictable. So they have to go and change everything up as much as possible to make it unpredictable. And it's just one of those things where eventually, like, figuring out the model from the very beginning that worked out beautifully was, can we go back to that? I really loved season 2 with Colby. Colby Donaldson, he was so fantastic. I loved that season, and I wish they could go back to that, but we're still stuck. We're still stuck watching Survivor.
Yeah, I never got into Survivor. The main reality TV show that I got into watching was The Biggest Loser. Did you ever watch that?
Oh man, did we ever?
Yeah.
Yep.
That show's not around anymore. Most of their approaches just were proven to not be very effective long term.
That aged like milk, didn't it?
Yeah. Man, but I just remember watching it and being like, man, if only I had that much discipline. And now looking back, I'm like, oh.
It wasn't discipline. So my husband just messaged here at the tail end. He said, hey, I knew a guy that was on Survivor and he said it was real.
I imagine it's very difficult for those people that are on the show.
I don't disagree with you, but also
it's pretty real to them.
Well, and I'm sure that like every little thing that happens, like it happens, but also on the editing floor, things that get adjusted and rearranged and reconfigured,
de-emphasized.
Right. It's that's where the lack of realness comes in. And Jared's
Yeah.
not joking. We do know someone who was on Survivor. So
Oh,
we do understand like the experience for the individual was real. It's just that's not what the editing room presents. So
yeah. So I think so. It kind of like the reality TV boom, back in the day
mhm,
happened, and everyone was loved it. And then I feel like YouTube kind of took over that genre, but in a
absolutely.
way that it was able to stay more real.
Yes.
Because when you have a TV show and you like there's so much money involved, you have to keep it going. And so
Mhm.
they have no choice but to make it fake. Like they can't just sell reality because that's boring or slow or whatever. They have to spice it up. But with YouTube, it gives real people the opportunity to share without the pressure of like the contracts and the deadlines and the money and all that. And so I feel like YouTube really like it replaced reality TV in a way that reality TV is a totally different thing now. It's like
Yeah.
we all know it's fake. We all know
Yeah.
it's scripted and stupid.
Yeah.
But then we have YouTube to fill that need of actually following along and connecting to people, feeling like you know them, like the real
Right.
person. So that's kind of interesting how that the timeline worked out.
For sure. I agree with you. I think also when it comes to network TV, they have to be able to tell a story that like pulls people in because of the storyline rather than the individual themselves. Like some people will watch a show because they're like, oh, I just really love that person. I just really
Right.
want to see them do this thing. And it doesn't matter what that thing is, but I just want to see them do it. So there is some degree of that, but it's like you just have to have some sort of compelling storyline to keep people's attention longer. And yeah, I don't know. It is also there. I think there's also a lower expectation on the YouTubes for it to be
Yeah.
as story driven and
Right.
more like a come along on this experience with me rather than let me
Yeah.
just tell you my experience. I don't know. I could be
Yeah,
off.
well, and it can be so low budget, but you're
Mhm.
not like when I look at the videos that I click on in my subscription feed, like there can be some super high budget, like someone like worked really hard, made a script, did all of these incredible cinematic videography and all of that stuff, and that's
Yeah.
not the video I click on. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't bring value. What I click on your videos because I know you. And like I'm not getting, drone shots and like cinematic music in your videos, but that's not why I'm clicking on it. It's because
Right.
I connect with you. And that's
Yeah.
something I think is completely unique to YouTube
Mhm.
that you just can't get on those, reality TV shows or, on network television. It's
Yeah.
just so different.
Yeah. Well, and
Mm.
the whole scripting piece of things, I don't know that I've ever actually scripted something.
Yeah. The only time I've really scripted something is either if I'm doing a specific ad for like a sponsored show
Sure, but
or like an Instagram reel because you can only do 1 minute and I can't just keep talking. So I have to like narrow it down if I'm like talking about a recipe. Then I will like sit down and script it and be like, oh no, that's not important enough to take up 5 seconds. So out. But yeah, with YouTube videos, I'm like, oh man, I don't have time to script a 10-minute YouTube video. Are you kidding me?
well, and I mean, I feel like I don't do better without the script with not scripting, but I feel like it's more genuine when I'm not like
Yeah.
pre-thinking like this is what I want to say and this is the order in which I'm going to say the things. Like doing the sardine video. There was no
That was
scripting in
very
that.
real.
It
That was
was just
very real.
here
That
we
was
go.
so funny.
We're
I
doing
cannot
adventure
believe
things.
you drank the olive oil. Like I was like, sardines, not so bad. I cannot believe you drank the olive oil.
So here's the thing though, like I didn't know. And then I got two comments from people saying, don't drink the olive oil. And I was like, what have I done? Was there something wrong with the olive oil? Is it not really olive oil? Was it a lie? Did I
I
just
just
drink
can't
a
imagine
whole lot of
drinking any oil, much less oil that tastes like fish.
I,
Oh,
I used to take the what was it? It was the fish oil that was like the
oh, fermented cod
fermented
liver oil.
fermented cod liver oil with
If you're a
the
good Weston A. Pricer.
that's right, that's right. And I actively preferred my favorite flavor was probably the cinnamon, but then the second one I would prefer was just like the plain, and I'd be just like scooping a spoon and having my fermented cod liver oil. So to
But I
me,
didn't
drinking
mind the
the oil,
cinnamon, especially when it was mixed with the butter oil. It's not bad, but
yeah.
still. Yeah, of drinking sardine flavored olive oil is just there's not enough like science to convince me to do that. Like I
Well,
don't love science that much.
and the thing of it was that I just truly didn't know whether like the objective was to consume that olive oil. Like, why would it be packed in olive oil if that
Yeah,
wasn't to be part of the experience? I
right.
just I just don't
Well, and
know.
I've always wondered about the nutrition facts. Do the nutrition facts include the olive oil? Because it doesn't seem like it. It seems like the fat would be way higher if it did. So how do they
Right.
know how much olive oil you're going to consume with your sardines? Like it's very confusing.
It's a very, very interesting nutrition label. And at first, when I was reading that, I thought that it said 1/3 of the can counted as one serving. So I thought, oh, so 3 fish in this tin of sardines. So that's 3 servings. And so I was like, okay, so the olive oil then made sense to me, but I wasn't looking at the macro breakdown. I
Yeah.
was like,
Okay.
I don't understand it. And then I reread it and it said 1/3 cup, 1 can. I was like,
Oh.
oh. So,
Yeah, I never understood that.
that was just one of those moments where y'all just got to go on a fun adventure with me. And I drank the olive oil and
And you
twice.
didn't die.
I didn't, but now I'm really concerned. And it is getting super dark outside. You can't tell, but
Oh, weird.
wow. Uh, it was just like one of those things where it's like, I mean, what's done is done, clearly. And maybe in the future, and I had so many people saying different things like eating sardines with that are water packed taste better than ones that are olive oil packed. And then I had the reverse thing. Olive oil is better than water. Water is nasty. And I'm like, I'm gonna just have to go through
Sounds
and
like a personal taste type thing.
listen, Jared Murphy. Lindsay also eats the green stuff, parsley, I think, on a plate at a restaurant. Some people's kids. Really? Really? Really?
Parsley is delicious.
Yeah, he just cooked us salmon last night with parsley in it. So I don't know why he's sitting
Ooh.
there getting all up in arms about it. Yeah, he made this
Yum.
he does this thing where he sees like a recipe on the Instagram or not the Instagrams, the YouTube shorts and he'll
Uh-huh.
say, "Yeah, I want to try that out" or something to that effect. And so yesterday he had already thawed out some salmon from the freezer. He went and he got like a whole bunch of stuff and he made the salmon in the pan and it had like a creamy, cheesy spinach and tomato sauce situation. It was really quite nice. And there was buckets of parsley in that thing. So I
Yeah.
just called you out there, babe.
Yeah. Jeff doesn't like parsley. He is
Mm,
not a like raw green thing sprinkled over your food type person. He will
sure.
pick off the green onions. Parsley, no. He would never touch something like tabbouleh or something that's like a parsley salad.
Mhm. So he clearly listens to Dr. Kiltz, where vegetables and plant matter will kill you.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's just
That's
trying
his
to be
like
safe.
number one thing. Nope, not even close. Not even close. No, but he's been doing really well on his new diet,
Yeah.
intermittent fasting,
Jared's
and
on that train too.
yeah, it's the thing where it's like I think he learned a lot at KetoCon. I mean, I think there's a lot he thought was silly too, which
Well,
same. I mean, there you go around
valid.
all the venues and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, okay. But anyways, I feel like he got a lot of inspiration from hearing people talk, and he has reduced his carbs, not to the point of being, under 20 grams or anything, but I don't think he needs to. And
No.
then adding in intermittent fasting, and he's been doing really well. I'm feeling like it's really good for him. So
That's fantastic. Jared has started the intermittent fasting, or he's OMADing during the week, and during the weekends he'll have breakfast and dinner. And I am not to an OMAD place. I still do push off breakfast quite a while because I am just trying to, I don't know, just kind of reduce my window for eating. And we really like having dinner as a family at night. So that kind of makes more sense for our setup time wise. But I'm definitely not OMADing. In fact, right before we got on the live stream here, I had pepperonis with cream cheese and pecans, and it was delicious.
I have to tell a story. I hope Chris is still here. Is because the other day, so Jeff broke his fast at like 2 p.m.
I thought you were gonna say his foot.
Yeah, he did. Jeff broke his foot. Nothing. No, fast. Broke his fast, and he had eaten something or other, and he's like, I need something else, and he's like, you know what I could really go for is a keto chow. And I thought he was joking because he loves to make fun of all of my products. Like, he thinks they're hilarious and makes fun of me for consuming them. But he was serious. He was like, yeah, I do want a keto chow. And so he discovered that he really likes the chocolate peanut butter.
That's fantastic.
So he'll break his fast, he'll eat his meal, and then sometimes he'll have a keto chow to, as a chaser.
That is fantastic. Jared has also been on the kick of he'll break his fast for dinner time. And then, he comes home and he starts grazing for, it's like a 3-hour food window, right? So has dinner. And then at the very end of the night, he's like, I need a keto chow for the end of the night. So earlier in the day, I'll make him a keto chow for him to drink at night as well. Sometimes I do as well, but sometimes I do not. Also, I feel like this light is giving me looking like a black eye.
You look great to me.
Oh, thanks. Jen, you asked pepperoni with cream cheese and what? That was pecans. So I cut a little tiny piece of cream cheese off of the block, and I put it on a pepperoni, and then I top it with another pepperoni, and then I put that in my mouth, and then I grab a pecan half and have it all as one bite.
It's a whole experience.
It is an experience. I tell you what, I enjoy it quite a lot.
Okay, Amy. Cod liver oil or cod livers come in a can are not too bad.
I'm gonna have to find that.
No, I don't believe that yet. I'd have to believe it.
Well, I mean, the reality is, if we're going to, I don't know, have fun and experiment with things, finding the weird things might be worthwhile.
Yeah. So, dang it.
So Amy did ask about hex-clad pans, and I have looked at hex-clad pans for quite some time now, and I've never pulled the trigger. I have no knowledge or information about that. I just wanted to draw attention to it in case somebody in the chat did, or Nili, if you did.
Okay, I don't know specifically about the hex-clad. I saw Laura Spath just got some.
Okay.
And she got them specifically because they're supposed to be non-toxic.
Okay.
And, all the good things.
Sure.
That's all I know. So I actually have a video coming next week where I'm going to talk about some pans that were sent to me that are not hex-clad, but they are a similar concept, but they are cast iron instead of stainless steel. And I just unboxed them and filmed a little bit of a test yesterday.
Cool.
Love them. And it's the same where it's like they're supposed to be free of all of the bad things and the PFOAs or whatever. I don't remember. And it says non-toxic, it says healthy, but they don't give you an exact list of everything that's in it.
Okay.
You know, and nobody does. Like when you see something with a nonstick coating, they don't have to tell you what's in it. They can tell you what's not in it.
Sure.
But I loved that they were cast iron. They're super, you know, high quality, and they have like a little not the same like hex pattern, but a different like a honeycomb pattern.
Sure.
And I mean, they work phenomenally. I love them. So, anyways, I'll be talking about that more soon
in the future.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds wicked cool. I do really like our cast iron skillet. And on Marco Polo, I did show you my massive 17-inch double-handled cast iron skillet that we need to season still. I love those. But I also really love our stainless now that I've kind of figured out cooking in them, because there is there's a bit of science involved. Yeah, with it. And so once we kind of figured out how to cook on stainless steel, we really like that. But my skillet that I have that is stainless is so small that it doesn't really work for a family of 5. And so we're both Jared and I are feeling like it's time to figure out a different pan situation. We need to figure that out because you know, pans can cost an arm and a leg, and having good ones is worth its weight in gold. Like a good set is worth its weight in gold, since
and they should last you a long time.
They really should. And we have the All Clad brand, which we really do like. It's made in America, and it had served its life well with us, but it just hasn't held up the way that we thought it would.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how like you get used to how a pan works, because I usually use stainless steel. And so when I was cooking with the new nonstick ones, they were so nonstick that I kept like making stuff fly out of the pan because I'm used to like having to scrape the bottoms more. So I'm gonna have to like retrain my brain to use these nonstick pans. It was crazy.
That is fantastic. I'm very intrigued.
Where you fry an egg and you're able to just like swirl the egg around and it just like floats around the pan. So great.
Oh my goodness.
You haven't been on Instagram a lot, but I've seen those like ads pop up for different pans where they do that. Where they do that now.
I definitely am interested to see your unboxing video when it comes out.
Hopefully next weekend.
So Delina asked, are acacia and oat fibers interchangeable?
I'd say it depends on the recipe.
I would agree with you there.
For my egg white bread recipes, any recipe that I have that it calls for acacia fiber, you can substitute oat fiber in the same amount and it should work fine. But I don't, oat fiber and acacia fiber are not things that I use a lot in all kinds of recipes. So I can't say for sure in all kinds of recipes.
So I have a low carb bread recipe that is not just like an egg white based recipe. And in that I'd use like Greek yogurt and whey protein and my baking blend thing. And then also I do put in a hefty, I think, is it a half cup or a full cup of oat fiber for the actual like structure of the bread. And if you were to use a 1 cup for 1 cup thing of oat fiber, acacia fiber, interchangeably, you are going to have problems. It is not going to go well with you. So if you are using it like in the egg white breads that Nili has, I think that it helps.
It's just like a tablespoon or 2.
Yeah, it helps a ton with texture. With my recipe, it is intended to be structural, not texture. So that makes a big difference. I would not interchange them where it calls for like a half cup quantity of oat fiber. And I think that you might only be able to use, I don't know what the exact ratio is. I think there might be some sort of a calculator online for how to substitute different non-wheat flours. I'm going to look that up.
Okay. Yeah. Chris Bear says that, where'd it go? He does have to say that chocolate peanut butter keto chow is awesome. I agree. It is very awesome. Let's see. Blaze said, please say how heavy the cast iron pans are for those of us with problems with our hands. Yeah. So the set that I got are 3 sizes, and the smallest one is just teeny tiny. It's so cute. I love it. And they all feel a little bit heavier than like a stainless steel pan. The biggest one is, I forget, I think it was 12 inches. I think the biggest one was about 12 inches. And so it feels heavier than a stainless steel pan, but not as heavy as like a Lodge cast iron skillet of the same size. It's a lot thinner. So it does feel heavy compared to just a regular frying pan, but not as heavy as like a cast iron skillet, if that helps. And Blaze, if you want to know like exact weights and stuff, you can message me and I can actually weigh them. It might even be on the package saying how much they weigh. All right. Oh, Lindsay, Jared's asking for a chocolate peanut butter keto chow. Chris and Jeff convinced him. So you better get on that, wife.
I will do it for you because I love you.
You're such a good wife.
I do my best. I do my best. I am struggling
Chris says
to
that he'll allow it as well.
Huh?
Chris says that he'll allow it as well. So
okay.
You have permission from Chris and from Jared to make Jared a chocolate peanut butter keto chow.
So what I just heard was that Jared made a motion, Chris seconded it, and now the motion carries?
Yep.
Okay.
Get to work.
We're getting to work. Getting to work.
Wow, Amy has to go. Bye, Amy.
Bye, Amy. Have a good time.
So Jennifer says, can we convince or help Chris Bear develop a cheese sauce keto chow?
Well, Chris seems to have responded to that.
Oh, interesting. What did Chris say? Oh, bad news. Yeah, I remember him talking about cheese flavors being very difficult. Turned out really terrible. I wonder why. Because powdered cheese is a thing.
Powdered cheese is a thing. Maybe just the way that it combines with other ingredients doesn't make it conducive to the process.
Maybe. Do you remember those soup mixes, like dry soup mixes? I feel like there was Bear in the name, Bear Lake or Bear
Did they have like the dried little like noodles, dried little like bits of vegetables
little
in
pieces
it?
of potato?
Yes.
I remember like the potato broccoli cheese soup mix. Okay. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah.
I remember
Bear something.
I remember my mom having some of those like soup mixes, dried soup mixes in the pantry where literally all you did was throw it in a saucepan with water, and that was the end of it. Val suggests Bear Creek.
Bear Creek, that's it.
So I can remember her having those on hand. We didn't use them very often. We also did not eat soup a ton when I was growing up. That was definitely not a common food for us to eat.
Like we didn't eat a lot of packaged foods like that. Like we made stuff from scratch, like my mom always did. I don't remember why we got it, but I just remember thinking this is the most amazing soup I've ever tasted.
That is funny.
That's an aside, talking about cheese soups and cheese soup mixes. Yeah, it's weird that would turn out so bad. Anyways, let's see. Because you have the unflavored beef base that you can add stuff to, I'm not planning to develop any additional savory flavors of keto chow. That makes sense. So we could add our own cheese powder mixture to the beef soup base or the creamy chicken soup base.
Yeah.
And make our own. That'd be good. Or just add fresh cheese.
I was going to say, I'm kind of a fan of just like adding the shredded cheese.
Yeah.
I can see the value added to having like the powdered cheese on the shelf and having the powdered like beef base on the shelf. But then like, you know, in all reality, if I can have access to real cheese, I will choose the real cheese.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the convenient thing of keto chow. It's that it's a meal that you don't have to
keep
work toward. You don't have to do all the prep work and all the chopping and all the
Right. I mean, and I can definitely see taking the creamy chicken soup base and just adding some of the cheese powder to that, and maybe you know, cut up broccoli into it or something to make it a cheesy broccoli soup. That could go over okay, I think. But
That would be good.
and I think I would choose to do that instead of the beef base, just because I think that the creamy factor would lend itself a little bit better to the cheesy, creamy experience.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
Also, I would like to submit a request. I would like to make the motion that we get Keto Chow core in the 21 serving bags. I know I'm not the
Yeah,
only one.
and in more flavors.
I mean, at this point in the game, I'm only hoping for Keto Chow core in the big bags. And then I'm going to
Okay.
let them
Yeah, you
take
don't
their
want to
time.
ask too much.
Motion denied. What? There wasn't even an opportunity to second it.
But I second it.
Chris, the motion carries.
Oh,
Where's Miriam?
yeah, I really like the Keto Chow core.
It's
I think
literally
it's
my
really
favorite.
good.
I used to think that blueberry pie and Keto Chow core were tied for first. I truly believe that Keto Chow core with stevia has completely overtaken it, even though blueberry pie is my favorite of all of the other flavors.
Okay. Okay, I have a question for Chris. The Wagyu Keto Chow core that we tasted at KetoCon, was that the stevia sweetened one, or did you sweeten it with something else? I'm very curious about that.
I also
Two crazy here.
Hi guys. So listen, Chris, you've had Joe third it. I'm assuming it's Joe today, and then
Yes.
now we have Debbie Armstrong also fourthing it. Therefore, motion carried. The four of us have agreed. Oh, Cindy's on fifth.
Cindy's up there.
That court may be out of session, but we are over here making motions.
Okay, focus. Did you try Keto Chow at KetoCon? She says she's never had Keto Chow, and she was at KetoCon. How could you not try it?
I don't know, but I also know that that beef tallow chocolate core was literally the best thing that I ate at KetoCon.
Yeah.
No, that's a lie. That beef rib was pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, you could say the best like product at KetoCon.
Oh yeah, the best actually available at KetoCon because the beef rib came from the outside world.
Oh, Joe says Keto Chow core and caramel macchiato.
Okay,
That would make my entire year.
I'm gonna counter. Like caramel macchiato can absolutely come down the line, but I would think coming in with strawberry next would be the one.
I guess, yeah, beef one. They already have the natural strawberry with monk fruit. If that still
Sure.
exists. I don't know.
Well, listen, ketosis focus. It's weird. So like at the beginning, you're like, yeah, I mean, like, what's the thing? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? And then you start consuming it, and you're like, why was this not always a thing in my life? That's sort of how it goes. And the fact that it's extremely versatile, the fact that you can make so many different things with it. Yes, ketosis focus, they are a meal replacement, and they give you 1/3 of your daily vitamins and minerals on top of having your protein, and then you add your own fat to give you all of the calories your body requires, and they just come up with amazing flavors. And I know Nili has a code in her, or a link down in her description here. You can go check that out. So pop over, get some.
Yeah. And but then it's the kind of thing where if you want to, if it's fun, if it's convenient for you, great. Not required. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah.
So
it's you definitely don't need any products off a shelf to be able to eat in a keto friendly way. And as your handle suggests, you do eat keto, and it is the focus of your life. So I'm sure you are very aware of that.
Or the focus of her channel, maybe not the focus of her life.
Okay, valid.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. But it can offer you some other flexibilities within your keto lifestyle if you're like traveling and you want to be able to have a backup meal in case you can't find something that you need. And there's a lot of different opportunities for it to enhance your keto experience rather than being required for you to live a keto life.
Yeah.
Flex of abilities. That's right, Chris. And Yeah. So Debbie Armstrong said she's already gone through a whole can of tallow, and that is blessed.
Wow. I have
That is
that tallow like
fantastic.
in my cart on Amazon, and I just need to buy it.
I bit the bullet.
Is
I
it
bought some.
good? Did you get it?
Oh man, it is so good.
I didn't seem that expensive for, being Wagyu.
No, the one that Chris just said in the comments, Chicago Packing Wagyu beef
Yes.
tallow, that's the one that I got.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's ridiculously delicious.
All right.
It's
I'm gonna have to do it.
pull the
Make room
trigger.
in the grocery budget. Mm.
You got to pull the trigger on that one.
Sorry, kids. You're not getting milk this week because I needed to buy a jar of Wagyu beef tallow. Oh
That's right.
dear.
That is right.
Oh dear. Mm.
Yeah, Joe answered it for me, but Jen, the tallow thing, tallow is just rendered beef fat. So when they slaughter a cow, you've got all of the fat. You render it down, and then you allow it to cool so that you can then use it in place of things like butter or lard or what is
Yeah.
chicken called?
Schmaltz?
Schmaltz. That sounds right. So you
Yeah.
can use it as a frying oil, or I actually have tallow like body balm that I use, and
Yeah, I have some too.
it's good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
It is
What's
good
special
stuff.
about that beef tallow, Jennifer?
Delicious.
The wax beef tallow is just I don't know what is special about it, but it is special. It's not flavored. No.
Delicious. No, yeah, it's not flavored except like delicious beef.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And whenever you mix it with
let's see.
Keto Chow, it tastes like donut frosting. So
I know. What is up with that? That's crazy. Okay, did Joe did Chris respond about the sweetener? Did I
he said
miss
it was
it?
stevia, I thought.
Oh, he did say other. Okay, good. Yeah.
Dustin at Play, can you replace all fat sources in regular cooking with tallow? I don't know that it would be appropriate for every single use, but I would sure be willing to try.
Yeah, for any kind of cooking, it probably wouldn't be great for like salad dressings unless you're
No,
mixing
probably.
something else with it. So like cold uses, probably no, but any warm cooking uses. Okay, he did say yes, it was stevia. With 2 tablespoons of beef tallow to each serving. Oh, only 2 tablespoons. That's not even a lot. I'm gonna have to try that. Gonna do it. Yeah, I'm experimenting with dairy free again because I know I'm so angry. I'm so angry because I started doing the lean days again, and I was on them for like a week or more and basically didn't lose any weight. Like it bounced around, and it could just be taking time to even out or whatever. But I was like, I wonder what would happen if I cut out the dairy, because before when I did it, I cut out the dairy and did the lean days at the same time, and I dropped weight so fast. So yesterday I had a lean day with no dairy, and I lost like 2 pounds this morning. Dang it! Why?
This
So
sounds
angry.
like an acceptable situation.
So angry. Yeah. So anyways, that's why I've been thinking more about Keto Chow core recently. Because I'm like, I need more of that.
I don't know. There's just something about the blend of Keto Chow core that just makes my heart happy. I've also been trying to experiment with a syrup, like a Hershey syrup, but Keto Chow core syrup, which sounds dumb whenever you say it out loud. But when you think about the applications behind it, it's like, oh, you mean like you could do like a ribbon of it into the Ninja Creamy, or, like top it like or on, you know what I mean? Like I've got ideas. But my test, it didn't go as planned. And Jared was like, I don't think this is it yet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of those kind of things happen in my kitchen as well. So,
and yet you pump out so many amazing ideas all the stinking time. Ugh.
So I've been frustrated recently because I have so many video ideas and there's not enough days. Like, what the heck? And but the crazy thing is that I go through periods where I'm like, I have zero ideas. And I feel like a week will go by and I'm like, I can't even get one video out. And then other times it's like, I have like 5 videos waiting to go out and they need to go out right now, but I can't put them all out at the same time. Like, it's so weird. How does that happen?
I don't know. It's like the tide comes in and it's like all of it. And then the tide recedes and you're just like, I am parched. What just happened?
Yes. It's so
My
strange.
list of ideas is very long. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and
Yeah.
scrolls. And it's just like seriously ideas. And I don't have all the time in the world, like you don't. But then also the other piece of it I've found is I mentally struggle with the idea that I'm making these whole like all these variety of foods. Some of them don't freeze the best. So we have to eat them.
Mhm.
And some of the
Yeah.
things are like, okay, I need a little bit of a break and I cannot just sit there and make 17 different full-sized meals or even half-sized meals that may or may not freeze well and then
Yeah.
shovel through all of that stuff. It's just one of those things where it's like I got to pick and choose at some point, and other times it's just like come on, idea, come to me.
Okay, so Haley asked what I'm using in my coffee instead of heavy whipping cream. So when I do dairy free, I have a dairy free creamer recipe. And Joe is saying, remember, butter is not dairy, which I do agree with that. When I went dairy free before, I cut out butter too, and I never really was able to pinpoint if butter gave me the same issue as dairy gives me, like other
Mhm.
dairy gives me. I think this time, if I do extend my dairy free experiment, which I still don't know if I will or not, I will include butter and just see what happens. But anyways, I was gonna say I don't like butter in my coffee. Like I guess I'm weird that way. I've tried. I don't care for it. Even, blended, it's fine, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
But what I do really like for a dairy-free creamer is a combination of MCT oil powder, coconut milk powder, and collagen. And I have a video of my recipe for that creamer. Um, but since I did that video, they were all like different amounts of each one. Since I did that video, I realized that it was easier and just as good to do equal amounts of all 3 of those ingredients. So I will put in a pound of MCT oil powder, a pound of, and it's unflavored, a pound of the coconut milk powder, and a pound of the collagen powder. And I think it's delicious. It's not as good as heavy cream, but if I could find something as good as heavy cream that was dairy free, I'd be a billionaire.
Right.
But it's as close as I've been able to come. It's the best dairy free creamer I have been able to find. Because when I went dairy free before, I went and bought every dairy free creamer I could find, and I did a video like taste test of all of them. They're all bad. Like, they're not great. And I found that this mix that I had, and even like the specific brands of the MCT oil powder, and I don't know so much about the coconut milk powder, but the MCT oil powder that I use in the recipe is better than other ones that I've tried. So it's the micro ingredients
I
brand.
love that brand. We've
So
had that.
good. The MCT oil powder of the micro ingredients is so creamy, and it's not
Mm,
sweet. I don't like sweet coffee, so there's lots of options for like sweet MCT oil powders and stuff, like Perfect Keto, that a lot of people like in their coffee. I do not like that in my coffee at all. But the micro ingredients plain MCT oil powder is super creamy, super delicious, and it's one of the cheaper ones as well. So
yeah.
it works out. And
I
then I'll just throw in there, the collagen can be left out. It doesn't add so much to the flavor, but one thing it does, it has health benefits, but then it makes the rest of the ingredients dissolve in the coffee, which is interesting. So if you make it without the collagen powder, you really have to whiz it up and it clumps. But if you mix the collagen powder in there, somehow it helps all of it dissolve easily, which is kind of crazy.
so
So
it's your
there you go.
own version
That's
of
my spiel.
an emulsifier.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and a healthy one too. Like that's
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like micro ingredients. They're powdered monk fruit. That's just
Oh,
pure
okay.
monk fruit. And I mean, like
Yeah.
you literally use what, like a 32nd of a teaspoon for it.
Okay.
That stuff, I really like their brand of that. It's good
I'm gonna
stuff.
have to try that because I know you've used that for a while, and
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I never got into the whole monk fruit thing. Besides, like things happen to be sweetened with them. I never have bought it on
Sure,
its own.
sure. Um, so, your creamer recipe that you did the video on, brilliant. I also might recommend black coffee.
Why? Why? I don't. I don't recommend that. But maybe you're a better person than I am and are able to handle it.
I don't know that I'm better. I think I'm just, you know,
Well, you're
I'm
definitely
just
better.
I'm fully sold out for the black coffee at this point. Like, yes, I do enjoy coffee with cream, and I do enjoy sweet coffee from now and then. I cannot drink cold coffee. That is not a thing. Or iced coffee, not a thing for me. I cannot do those things. It could be 4 million degrees outside, and I will still choose hot coffee
Yeah.
over anything else.
Mm.
But black coffee, even in the evenings, Jared and I will have like our TV shows, and we'll sit down with like a cup of decaf coffee. And I thought about it, like maybe we should go back to doing like herbal teas in the evening. And I'm like, the mouthfeel is just so different, even with like un unadded unadded to tea and unadded to black decaf coffee. The texture and the viscosity of it is still different. And
Mm.
it's just one of those things. Like I just the black coffee does all of the happy things in my brain.
I've tried so many times because I aspire to be a better person, and I
Did
just
you
can't.
read Jared's comment? It has been a long road, sir, but now that I have arrived at the destination, it is the place to be. You at once did not
Oh,
drink black coffee too, sir. I would remind you of
I
that.
love it. I love it. Oh, can we get Lindsay to say squirrel one more time?
As a
Go ahead.
squirrel.
Squirrel. Okay, Cindy said that she loves the bagels from my last recipe. What can be done about the stickiness? This happens when I make also happens when I make buns, never happens with bread. I have the same experience where when I make a loaf of bread, it doesn't get a sticky top, but buns and smaller things do. Like, what is that? The only Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do not know, but I find that I get sticky tops every time. You were about to mention though that one trick from that one YouTube channel. Go ahead. The egg
Which
wash thing, like
Oh,
halfway
no,
through
I wasn't.
baking.
I haven't tried that. Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it does work.
Okay, okay, okay.
As long as you let your breads cool completely to room temperature out in the open before
Okay.
like putting them in some kind of an airtight container.
Okay,
And
so
it does
when do you put the egg wash on?
so par bake them until the tops are all, like set, and
Okay.
then brush the egg wash on top, and that will help at the end of it.
I will have to try that. I feel like I've tried egg wash on some recipes, but I wasn't looking for that effect. So maybe I missed it.
Judy just
Yeah,
typed it out.
low
Low carb,
carb
like
thin. Yeah.
spin. That's the one. Yeah, we've talked
Um,
about it before, I think.
yes. What I was going to say is what I have just done is before I eat them, I throw them in the air fryer for a minute. And that crispies up the top and makes them warm, and they're not sticky at all. So it is annoying that they get sticky in the bag, but I don't eat them that way. That's kind of gross.
Sure. I found also like just a square of parchment between each one can be helpful.
Okay.
Or whenever you like put them in a container, like giving them plenty of elbow room so that they're not sticking to one another helps.
Okay.
But then that becomes like an irritant of needing to have like 17 containers filled with
Yes.
all these things. But yeah,
Yes.
I don't think I ever eat the egg white bread untoasted or unwarmed. I never
Yeah.
eat it cold.
Yeah. I don't think I really do either. It just tastes so much better when it's warm
Yeah.
and crispy. And when you get it crispy, it tastes like it's fresh again, which is amazing.
Sure. I
And it's
need to go.
about fresh. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I need to go in and make some of the egg white hot pockets or hand pies, I guess we could call them too.
Yeah.
Because I really would love to just be able to load up the fridge and freezer with some like grab and go type deals like that, so that it simplifies life whenever, summertime officially hits. And if we go to the pool or we go here or there or wherever, it'll simplify life. My girls love homemade hot pockets and they have for years. I just do my real basic, like, and it's not keto, real basic pizza crust, but I let it overproof a little bit so that it can become more bready. And
Everything okay?
that was weird. I think it was a bird, but I cannot be sure.
I hear a bird out my window.
Okay. The dagnabbit. So I make them these like homemade hot pockets, and then sometimes I'll freeze them, and I do like peanut butter jelly for them, and a whole variety of different things. And they are obsessed with those things. So it's one of those opportunities I could just like make them dozens of those, and then they can choose like, oh, I want a pizza one, or I want a peanut jelly one, or I want chicken ranch ones, or whatever. And I don't have to constantly be baking them fresh bread every week because
Yeah, that
the
was
girls
nice.
do eat bread.
I had a comment on my I had a comment on my food prep video where I made those, and they said that then when they make the sloppy Joe pockets, they call them tidy Joes because you don't make a mess because they're all in
That
a pocket. Like that's
that
brilliant.
is brilliant. Although I did like Jeff's term for it, the
Yes.
Projo. That was
Yeah,
pretty.
Pro Joe or sloppy pros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
good one. He comes up
He's
with good
always
things like
he's always with the little clever names. What would I do without him? Yeah, Chris Bear said hot pockets. It always makes me think of Jim Gaffigan. It's so funny.
I don't
Have
think
you seen that?
it's a joke. Mm-mm.
You don't get it?
I haven't seen that particular joke
Okay.
from Gaffigan, but
Yeah, he sings the little hot pocket theme song, and it's hilarious. You'll have to watch it after this.
I will have
It's
to
very
do
funny.
that.
Yeah, and then he goes on the whole rant about.
Joe just said we should have peanut butter jelly as a Keto Chow core flavor. Okay,
Ah,
so I will second that with a stipulation. I need to know what the grape tasted like in order to be able to give that my full second on the motion. Otherwise, if it's going to be strawberry jelly as the peanut butter jelly, that I'm all on board for.
okay. Okay.
I will second that motion
Yeah.
full-heartedly.
Yeah. So, Chris, what is it going to take to get more Keto Chow core flavors? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, what has to happen for you to be like, all right, we're doing this? That's what I need to know.
We do need to know that, but I also think that perhaps they've got so many things happening all at the same time, but then also like all of the ingredient acquiring
Yeah.
situations might deter that. Why do I feel like he's trying to be coy?
I know. Maybe that's the secret powders he was dealing with earlier.
I mean, okay, eclectic cabin wants to try the grape. Well, Joe has tried the grape and says that it's phenomenal. I mean, maybe that's a
But
paraphrase.
Rachel hates it, right?
That's right. That's right. But Jared wants to know which flavor jelly, what flavor of jelly. Listen, I think we might have a strawberry here and a regular old peanut butter. So we could
There
just
you
make
go.
strawberry peanut butter
I know. You
sandwich.
can totally make some.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
idea.
Uh-oh. Wheels turning. Yeah, I never tried the grape. I never tried the licorice ones. Those looked fascinating. Very fascinating. Joe says he's got 50 packets of the grape. That's amazing. I saw their did you see their pantry? I forget where I saw it, if it was a video or Instagram. Their Keto Chow pantry with all the boxes, all like that's impressive.
That is impressive, and I did see that it was on a recent What I Eat in a Day video for them, like a
Okay.
daily eating
Yeah.
video. Joe went off to go diving, and so
Uh-huh.
Rachel tackled the Keto Chow closet.
I love it. Keto Chow closet. I have a Keto Chow shelf area. I don't
Sure.
yet have a Keto Chow closet.
I also do not have a Keto Chow closet at this stage. And Miriam asked a while back if I would be willing to show like my keto pantry product things. And the reality is that everything is so all over the place that I almost feel like I need to go in and orient everything in one small zone so that it can all be easily
Ah. Well, that
witnessed.
would make a great video. You could
That
do
would
like a before and after, like organize
yeah,
my keto stuff with me. That'd be
that's
great.
not that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Graham,
do it.
uh,
Oh
or
man. Chris says he was not working with Keto Chow core flavors. You could have at least let us hope. Like you have to dash our hopes and dreams. Seriously.
missed opportunities, Chris. Leave them wanting more. Don't just say no. Haven't you learned anything about improv? The person who says no kills the scene, and that's not acceptable. Oh, he did say today, Andy, you're absolutely right. That's valid.
Okay, he says content. That means we have to keep talking about how much we love Keto Chow core.
No, I think he meant like the organizing the keto
Oh,
things.
I thought he was answering the question of what it's going to take. He's like, just keep pumping out the content.
I picked up on the pantry thing.
Okay. Yeah, feed the algorithm your Keto Chow.
Bulk blueberry is high priority. Yes, it is. I'm on our last shill. I'm on our last bag of blueberry pie, Keto Chow, like the big guy. So that's gonna need to make its way. Make way back into my closet of keto things that I do not have.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have been on for an hour and 17 minutes. I'm not sure if all of our children are still alive or not.
I think mine are. We're on summer break right now, so they got to watch a movie today. So they are fully engrossed in the movie situation.
That's good. That's
because,
good. Yeah.
You know, it's something that they're like, we have to watch Harry Potter. Of course you do, Chuck.
Yes.
They love Harry Potter. I mean,
Yeah,
it's totally
my kids too.
But hey, listen, 60-second rundown. Have you done anything remotely stepping toward the act of exercising?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I have been active on the farm. I have been active on the farm. I had, oh my goodness. I moved probably 250 pounds of chicken feed myself going upstairs.
Ugh.
That was a whole thing. It was very sweaty. And I like had to leave. I was going to be late. And so I had to do it fast. So that counted for like everything.
That was a hit workout.
Weight training, cardio. It was all of it.
High five.
What about you?
Jared and I have been taking our 2-mile walks. We did not do it on Mother's Day, but other than that, we have been. Well, I have. Jared missed another night whenever he had some meeting he was at, and I was like, "Are you gonna be home at this time?" And he was like, "You'll probably have to walk without me." And I said, "Aye, Cap. I can do it, Chief." So we've been keeping up with that ever since KetoCon. I will say this much. KetoCon, that is no more, was definitely a catalyst for a few different things that I think have been positive changes for us, you know?
Okay.
So
yeah. Like
the walking daily thing, and then Jared choosing to go to an intermittent fasting kind of a thing, definitely valuable. And I have also learned a lot since that trip with the CKM and whatnot. So, all around good things. I also learned about the Wagyu tallow tasting like the frosting with the Keto Chow core. I would never have known, and it would never have changed my life, and yet it did.
It did. It wouldn't have been possible without KetoCon.
I don't understand how to interpret the comment that Chris Bear just made.
Casually talking about how he didn't walk with you, throwing him under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Kind of the way that he tried to throw me under the bus about like how long has she been drinking black coffee? It's been years at this point, sir.
And let's just throw out there that he missed a walk.
He missed a walk.
Lame.
I mean, the meeting he was at, he probably would have rather have been like doing the walk with me, but
you can't have everything.
You can't have everything. Sometimes you have to be an adult and do the things. Isn't that what kids are for? Also,
Jared was asking if they watched Apple Dumpling Gang, the Harry Potter Apple Dumpling Gang mashup.
I'm gonna have to think through that one. That one feels weird. I remember watching Apple Dumpling Gang, but I'm old, so there's that.
I remember that we saw it. It wasn't a big thing in my childhood. Jeff watched it a lot. Remember that. Okay, so Joe's asking, why am I carrying all the chicken feed? They were in 50-pound bags, and my 12 and under children, they weigh less than 50 pounds each, so they're not going to carry 50-pound bags. And then my oldest, who could carry 50-pound bags, has a boyfriend, goes to college, has a job, so she doesn't help me with anything.
How very dare her! No. Living her own life instead of hauling bags for you.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's like, why did I even give birth to her?
I mean, by the time she's actually useful around the house, she's ready to leave.
Exactly.
Now, I would have said, why didn't we figure out a pulley system or a winch system and like a snow sled?
How am I supposed to get exercise?
Oh, that's valid. That's valid. You got to use that. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to kill as many birds with one stone as I can. I'm all about killing birds around here.
No killing birds unless they're chickens for food.
Our cat killed a tiny, cute little bird and was torturing it on the driveway yesterday. It was very sad. There's a lot of killing birds around here.
Well, I mean,
but that's what they do. It's like you can't be mad at them.
It's going to be okay. So Jared did say that Apple Dumpling Gang is the movie that they showed them in public school at the end of at the end of the school year. Yeah, we didn't do that. We just didn't do that. We always had a field day at the end of the year.
That's a very interesting tradition. Yeah. All right, Jack's got to run.
We probably should run too.
A winch system. What are we talking about here?
A winch to
More
be able.
Keto Chow winch.
Where's Rachel? I know she's got a costume.
Well, Jared was the one that was telling you to go make him a Keto Chow.
You're not
chocolate peanut butter chow winch.
I need Rachel's costume for a minute.
Yeah, that was a winch costume. That was adorable. I love that. Well, she's like the cutest person in the world.
She makes anything look adorable. No, the winch was a like a pulley system, but not pulleys. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
a tool that you put on the front end of a 4-wheeler or a side-by-side or a UTV.
We have one on our quad.
There you
Jeff
go.
uses for a lot of things.
Yeah.
He used to move the chicken coop. I did a video on that several weeks ago. That was exciting.
Oh, they're homonyms. There you go. There's your word for the
homonyms.
Okay.
Yes. Whew, we could just sit here all day.
Oh dear. I think Jared and Chris could sit here all day on the chat.
They probably could. They need to start a live chat together. That would be fun.
I mean,
I would watch that.
I would not be upset if Jared said, "Hey, a job just opened up out in Utah." I would be pretty jazzed about that. Because
doesn't Keto Chow need a pilot to, transport all the Keto Chow? Like how else are they supposed to transport it? you could be the Keto Chow private pilot. That would be amazing.
an aviation department in every corporation. You need a pirate. Are you serious?
Yeah. So we need a winch and a pirate. There you go.
This
I
all
mean,
feels
Jared could do that too. I feel like he could probably pull that off.
the winch or the pirate.
So pirate. We established that you are the winch.
Oh, well, I mean,
Oh dear, we got to get off here. This is going downhill fast.
you're not wrong. I mean, I do make a better Jack Sparrow than Jared does because apparently
Okay.
whenever we talk, things are just less like understood than whenever he talks.
Oh my goodness, I can imagine you as a Jack Sparrow. That would be amazing.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh
definitely
man.
could
This is gonna
embody
be
that
fun.
particular character.
Mm. Mm. Well, I guess that
Any-
just means Jared has to be the winch. Oh man, and we started this so strong. I don't know what happened.
I know. Listen, it's because we've been on for nearly an hour and a half now.
We have. Okay, all right. We got it. We got to put a line somewhere. Draw the line somewhere. I can't speak.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope you guys
you.
enjoyed it. If there's anyone still left here, I can't even see how. Oh, 50 people. Wow. I can't believe it.
Bless y'all so much.
Bless your heart. I'm so
Like in
sorry.
a genuine way, not in a southern backhanded way.
No, not in a rude way. Yes. Okay.
That's
Next week we will be on Lindsay's channel. I always point down because to me you're down, but Lindsay's
Yeah.
channel.
I'm over
So
here.
make sure you're subscribed over there and ring the little bell and all the things. If you feel like hitting the thumbs up, go for it. If you feel like hitting the thumbs down, feel free to do that as well. And we will see you next week.
Plan. We'll see you there. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Oh, I'm still live. I hit the button and it didn't go away. There we go. Am I gone yet? I keep hitting the button and I'm still here. That's very strange. End stream. All right. Still here. Hit the button again. End stream. YouTube's being very strange today. That is very funny. I guess I'm just going to have to close the app completely. That's gotta end it. Wow. All right. Bye again.